Gentlemen, I think Ditch of You Entertainment has found its next big moneymaker.
Excellent. What do you have for us today, Jenkins?
Last week, our research staff found some footage of some wrestling events held in New Jersey. It was found in an abandoned nuclear power plant built on top of an ancient Indian burial ground. But that doesn't matter. In your packet, you'll find some of the names involved in the events.
Wow, the Iron Sheik, Nikolai Volkov, Killer Kowalski? This sounds great. When was this footage recorded? The 1970s?
No, the mid-90s. Take a look.
Oh, God!
What is this? Is this life?
This is horrible. I've never seen anything like this.
My eyes are burning! Make it stop! Make it stop!
Jenkins, that was the worst thing I've ever seen before in my life, wrestling or otherwise, and you say that this is going to be our next big moneymaker?
Are you insane?
Gentlemen, wrestling fans are sheep. They'll buy anything wrestling related, as long as it's packaged well. I've taken the liberty of putting some misleading old wrestling photos on the cover. All we need to do is price these DVDs so low, they practically have to buy them.
Of course. We'll mislead our customers. It's the perfect plan.
We'll be rich!
Only the stupidest people in the world will be dumb enough to buy these shit DVDs.
Wow, I can't believe I got all these DVDs with all these names on them for like $4. Today must be my lucky day. Mother... Masters of Wrestling is a series of DVDs that showcases a pair of pro wrestling events that took place in New Jersey in the 1990s. The Grandmasters DVDs are known for two things: being incredibly cheap and getting exactly what you paid for. At first, you're excited to see legendary names like Jimmy Snuka and Iron Sheik featured on the shows, but once you start watching, you soon discover just how far they've fallen. What we're left with is a series of car wrecks, each one more gruesome than the other. It's a sad state of affairs in the ring, stretched across 4 DVDs, enhanced by apathetic crowds and laughably bad production. From top to bottom, it is truly one of the worst sets of wrestling DVDs of all time. This week on Wrestling with Regret, we're taking a look at the first set of DVDs, Grandmasters of Wrestling, First Blood. Spoiler alert, there is no blood. The year was 1993. World Championship fencer Jeff Buchanan was the captain of the fencing team competing in the Maccabia Games, a Jewish version of the Olympics. The team needed to raise money to make it to Israel for the 93 Games, so Buchanan, a lifelong wrestling fan, held an event in Livingston, New Jersey called Maccabia Mania, which was renamed Grandmasters of Wrestling on the DVDs to appeal to a broader audience. Using his ties with Ken Patera and Iron Mike Sharp, Buchanan put together an impressive roster of men and women to take part in the show. The first DVD kicks off with a match between Ace Darling and Mr. Motion, a standard opener with 2 young local workers. See, Mr. Motion has chosen an unfortunate name because when his name is chanted by the fans, it sounds slightly different. Also, here's a fun game you can play during the match. Count the number of times Mr. Motion adjusts his gear. The match ends with a lackluster belly-to-belly suplex. What motion? I mean bullshit. Let's talk about the venue for a second. The ring is under a big tent in what looks to be someone's backyard or a cul-de-sac. Is this a fundraiser or someone's bar mitzvah party? Our next match pits Iron Mike Sharp, aka Fat David Hasselhoff, against the Cheetah Kid. I'm almost certain that Cheetah Kid is somebody's secondary gimmick, a worker who has a mask so he can get extra bookings. For a guy who's named after one of the fastest animals on the planet, the guy is one of the slowest luchadors I've ever seen. But it may not be entirely his fault. His moveset could have been hampered by working with a much larger, slower Mike Sharp, who, no joke, is the loudest wrestler in history. Listen to this guy.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Making noise in the ring is an old trick that wrestlers have used forever to distract fans from when they actually call moves, but Sharp here is ridiculous. It certainly distracted me from the spot calling alright, as well as the entire match. Up next is a ladies match featuring Misty Blue and Linda Dallas, a pair of women wrestlers from the old LPWA Fed. Other than Dallas's refusal to wear a sports bra and the incredibly old school finish of an airplane spin, there's not much to say about this match really. Well, maybe the fact that Dallas apparently went to the Mike Sharp school of selling. Also, how many referees have you ever seen make a count like this?
1, 3, 5, 7.
Two theories. This is some obscure women's wrestling rule, or that ref is from Canada. The main event of Disc 1 is a match between former tag team partners the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov. If you need any help on who to cheer for here, just listen to Volkov. That got the biggest pop of the day. Well, clearly Volkov knew his audience. Not only is this match difficult to watch, not only can you count the combined number of bumps between the two on one hand, the match ends in a double countout. I had more fun watching that one Volkov match where there wasn't even a ring. On to Disc 2. Here we see Dominic DeNucci, aka Borat's dad, against Johnny Hotbody. The match is serviceable as the two of them work okay with each other, even if the crowd couldn't care less. Whoa, DeNucci won with an airplane spin? I wonder if he got any heat from Misty Blue for stealing her finisher. Up next is the Battle of the Claws between Killer Kowalski and Baron Von Raschke. At the start of the DVD, you get promos from each of the wrestlers, and Kowalski's is truly something to behold.
You know, I'm really frightened. Ha, ha, ha. I put my claw hold on, it's going to be like a piece of butter, sticking my hands into butter. When I was a younger fellow, in my day, I used to practice with a grip. I haven't stopped since. I've become a habit of it.
Von Raschke comes out to a face pop here, and if you're wondering why a guy with what is essentially a Nazi gimmick is over as a face at Maccabia Mania, well, just try not to. You know, I always wondered what would have happened if my grandpas got into a fight against each other. Thanks to this match, I think I have a pretty good idea of how it would have went down. I feel like I should set this match on a handicap or something. I mean, these guys are doing way better in the ring than any normal wrestler their age. Baron Von Raschke's 53 here, Kowalski's pushing 70. It's lots of holds, lots of stuff in the ropes, lots of Kowalski jumping up and down like an idiot, which I'm sure looked a whole lot cooler when he was in his prime. Anyway, Killer Kowalski DQs himself in a really confusing and stupid finish. I would complain more about it, but trust me, the worst is yet to come. Before we get to the main event, let's see how it shaped up. Earlier in the show, Ken Patera was receiving an award, only to be interrupted by Iron Mike Sharp and the Iron Sheik. A scuffle ensued, and Patera said he would find a tag team partner for the final match of the day. So after seeing several legends make their way through the tent thus far, who would come out to help Ken Patera in his fight against the Iron Brothers? What the hell is that thing? Okay, I was right earlier. This is a bar mitzvah, and this schmuck is the bar mitzvah boy. No build, a goofy mask, a fencing gimmick, and best of all, no boots. Oh yeah, we're definitely in for a Matt classic here. Any chance this guy could cameo on Trash Bag Wrestlers? This is the Mighty Maccabee, who is actually Jeff Buchanan, the man who put the entire show together. Apparently to prepare for this match, he trained with Mike Sharp at his school, but found bumping to be too painful and difficult, so he decided that his character would not bump. And with that in mind, I just can't wait to see how this one turns out. Oh my god, guys, this match. Everyone is either too old or too incapable of having a decent match here. Everyone does a good job of getting heat with the fans by doing old school shtick, but that is literally the only thing being done well here. At some point, you need to stop playing to the crowd and start wrestling. Never mind, go back to playing to the crowd. This match is very hard to watch, and it goes on for way too long. Mighty Mac spends the majority of the match flopping around like a fish, but the fans can't tell any different. If they haven't walked out of the show before this point, why leave now? The match reaches its merciful conclusion when some miscommunication between the heels leaves Mike Sharp knocked out cold, allowing the Maccabee to get the pinfall and the win for all the little mentions. Man oh man, Shevitz, that was awful. What can you say about Grandmasters of Wrestling First Blood? The local guys give us a good show, but nearly all of the legends, the actual draws for this event, are incapable of doing the same, which is sad to say. The fact that all these legendary names are under one roof, or tent, for this show is impressive, but the quality of the work in the ring, combined with the absolute Bush League production values, makes this a hard sell, even if the DVDs are dirt cheap. Well, that was one hell of a bad show, but you know what? The DVD set is done, and so am I. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to Wrestling with Regret, leave a comment below, and buy the t-shirt. I'm Brian Zane, and I'll see you next time. Oh, I'm gonna... I...